All right, let's get right into it. We're here to talk about a condition that's, well, it's incredibly tough. Not just for the person going through it, but for the whole family that loves and supports them. So think of this as a simple guide to premenstrual dysphoric disorder, or PMDD. It's designed to help you understand what's really going on, and most importantly, how you can help.
Okay, so right off the bat, we've got to clear up the biggest misconception out there. When you first hear about PMDD, you might think, oh, okay, so it's just like really bad PMS, right? And honestly, that makes total sense, but it's just not the case. They are worlds apart, and getting that difference is really the first step to being the kind of support your loved one needs.
And this really lays it all out. Severe PMS, it causes discomfort for sure. But PMD, we're talking about real, significant distress. PMS usually doesn't stop you from living your life. PMD can literally make it impossible to go to work or school. But look at this last line, because this is the absolute key. PMD is not just a bunch of symptoms. It's a formal depressive disorder officially recognized. This is a serious medical condition.
Now here's another myth we really have to bust, because it causes so much confusion and frankly a lot of misplaced advice. It's so easy to think, well, it must be a hormonal imbalance. But all the research shows that's not it. In fact, women with PMDD have the exact same hormone levels as women who don't.
So if the hormones are normal, then what on earth is going on? Well, here's our answer. PMDD is what's called a neuro-hormonal condition. The easiest way to think about it is like a severe allergy. The body's having an extreme negative reaction to something that's totally normal and harmless for most people. In this case, the brain has an extreme sensitivity to the normal, everyday changes in hormones during a monthly cycle.
Let's just let that sink in for a second. The problem is not the hormones themselves. It is the brain's severe reaction to those hormones. This is so important to understand because it takes all the blame out of the equation. This is not something she can just control with more willpower. It's a biological, neurological response happening inside her brain. To make this a little easier to picture, let's use an analogy. Let's think of PMDD as a predictable monthly storm. For a good part of the month, the skies are totally clear, but then you see it on the horizon. A storm rolls in. It's intense, it can be really turbulent, but it's also temporary. And the most important part, it's predictable.
And this timeline, this is basically the weather forecast for that storm. For about 2 weeks, usually right after her period, you've got the symptom-free phase. That's the clear sky. That's when she feels like herself. Then, around week 3, the storm clouds start to gather. By week 4, right before her period, the storm is at its peak. And then, almost as quickly as it came, it breaks and the clear skies come back. This very clear on and off pattern is the dead giveaway of the disorder.
So you know when the storm is coming, but what does it actually look like? What might you, as a family member, actually see or feel when it hits? Being prepared for what the symptoms look like is everything, so they don't catch you completely off guard.
These are the big ones, the core emotional symptoms, and they are intense. Extreme irritability or anger might look like a huge argument that blows up out of nowhere over something tiny. Deep feelings of hopelessness might just look like sudden tears or her completely shutting down. Someone can seem totally fine one minute and then deeply distressed the next. This isn't her trying to be difficult. This is the storm making landfall. I'm going to say this again, because if you remember only one thing from this whole explainer, let it be this. The symptoms, the anger, the sadness, the lashing out, they are not a reflection of how she truly feels about you. They are symptoms of a medical condition, just like a fever is a symptom of the flu. It is not personal. It is the storm.
And just to understand how serious this storm can be, we have to look at this number. 30%. It's a staggering statistic, but research shows that 30% of people with PMDD will attempt suicide. Now, I'm not telling you this to scare you. I'm telling you this so we can all appreciate the reality of the pain this condition causes and why our support is so incredibly vital.
That number makes it pretty clear, doesn't it? Your role as a supportive, understanding family isn't just a nice thing to do, it is an absolutely critical part of her safety net. Your understanding, your patience, it can be a literal lifeline during the darkest parts of the month. Okay, so we understand the storm.
Now for the most important part. How can you help? You can't stop the storm from coming. That's not your job. But you can be the lighthouse, a steady, guiding light that provides a safe harbor. Your role isn't to fix it, it's to help her navigate through it safely until the sky clears again.
And here are 3 really practical things you can do. First, know the forecast. Just being aware of where she is in her cycle helps everyone anticipate the tough days instead of just reacting to them. Second, lighten the load. During those hard weeks, maybe it's not the best time for big, stressful family talks. Plan for quiet nights in. And third, this one's huge. Offer a safe harbor. Agree on a pause word beforehand. If a conversation gets too heated, either of you can say the word and you both agree to just stop and pick it up later. No judgment.
When she is right in the middle of it, the urge to jump in and try to fix it or offer solutions is so strong. But honestly, one of the most powerful things you can do is just validate what she's feeling. A simple phrase like this one, "I can see how much pain you're in. I'm here with you," is everything. It doesn't try to solve anything. It just says, "I see you, I believe you, and you're not alone." And that can make all the difference in the world.
So let's just quickly recap the most important things. Number 1, believe her. This is real. 2, don't try to be the hero who fixes it. Just be there with her. 3, realize that your support is a crucial part of her healthcare plan. And finally, please remember to look after yourselves. Being a lighthouse is hard work. It's okay to need your own support and to take a step back when you need to. So we'll end with this question. Look, knowledge is everything. You now have the forecast. You know what the storm is, what it looks like, and what it isn't. So the question isn't, what's wrong anymore? The question now is, how can we as a team navigate this together? Just by learning this, you've already changed everything, turning confusion into a real plan for support.